Welcome back to the Metronome Madness League. We have the charming Charmeleons going up against the Shadow Squad. Iron Bundle is on the field for the Charmeleons, while Screamtail is on the field for the Shadow Squad, using a Blissey, which is super effective against the Iron Bundle. Hits twice. Good move from Screamtail. However, Iron Bundle does take that pretty well. There's a noble roar from Iron Bundle, lowering Screamtail's attack and special attack. So it's going to deal less damage here as it goes for an Esper Wing. Esper Wing hidden decently. Iron Bundle almost at half its health already. Here comes the Screamtail now with the Tachyon Cutter. That's going to hit twice. It is below half its health. It's in the yellow right now. Good hit by the Screamtail. The Shadow Squad are playing very well, but Iron Bundle goes for a roar. It cannot handle the Screamtail, so it's going to make the Shadow Squad switch to their next Pokemon, which is the Arcanine. Arcanine, of course, has Intimidate. It's going to lower Iron Bundle's attack stat there. And the Iron Bundle will go for a not very effective Vine Whip, barely doing any damage. Arcanine now going for a Reflect type. Going to turn itself into a Water and Ice type, I believe, is Iron Bundle's typing there. So Arcanine is a Water and Ice type Arcanine. We'll have to keep that in mind. So Iron Bundle makes itself faster with a Rock Polish. Arcanine going once again. This time it's going to go for a Psychic Feigns. Iron Bundle is on the end of its health here. 5 HP left. And here we go. There we go. There's a Sand Tomb from the Iron Bundle that's going to trap Arcanine and do damage at the end of every turn. I don't know if it's going to have any effect, as Arcanine might just knock it out with the Throat Chop, and it does. Iron Bundle faints, and the Charmeleons are done with their first Pokemon, so they'll send out Kommo-o. Arcanine, faster of the two, goes first, goes for a Tearful Look, starting with a bit of setup against the Kommo-o, lowering his attack and special attack there, as Kommo-o will now go for a Poltergeist. Arcanine's holding the weakness policy, so it will be hit by that. Does a decent amount of damage as Arcanine tries to respond with a Clanging Scales. The audacity of using Kommo-o's own move. It doesn't work because of soundproof, but that was an audacious move from the Arcanine there. It's gonna go once again. This time Arcanine goes for a Heart Swap. I'm gonna switch any stat changes, which I believe actually gives Arcanine a lower attack stat. There goes the Grassy Glide. It's super effective now. Remember, Arcanine is a Water and Ice type, so Arcanine is in the yellow. His weakness policy does activate there. Arcanine going for a Poison Sting. It barely does any damage. No poison effect happens. Kommo-o going once again, this time with a Fell Stinger. Ooh. Was not able to knock it out with it. Could have got a boost there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as the Seed Bomb hits Kommo-o. Of course, not very effective. And Kommo-o goes again, this time with a Mega Punch. That will do it, and Arcanine goes down. First Pokemon to faint on the Shadow Squad. They go back to their Screamtail, who is still at full health. It will go first here. Starts with an Agility. Agility gonna raise its speed up. That's Kommo-o now. Goes for a Low Kick. That is not very effective. Screamtail is a Fairy type, I believe. Here comes Screamtail again. A Luster Purge. Luster Purge hits. It's super effective. Kommo-o taking a huge amount of damage. There goes Kommo-o now with a Skitter Smack. Another Bug type move. Doing just a little bit, but lowering that special attack as Screamtail now goes for an Aeroblast. That would have been huge, super effective against Kommo-o, but it avoids it. Good move by the Kommo-o, and it goes for a Side Strike instead. Not very effective again, but still chipping away at the health on Screamtail. There goes a Swift. Swift puts Kommo-o in the red. Kommo-o now going for a Magnetic Flux. That's going to fail. Screamtail now gets to go for a Soft Boil. Gonna heal itself. This Screamtail just can't be knocked out as it keeps getting health and surviving every attack. There goes Kommo-o again, putting up a Mist. Protecting their team. Here comes Screamtail once again. This time it goes for a Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash will do it. Kommo-o will faint, and the Charmeleons are down to one Pokemon. It's their Blissey. Blissey on the field against the Screamtail. Screamtail goes for a Brine. Brian not doing a whole lot of damage. Blissey is very tanky. Here comes the Blissey with a simple beam, changing the Screamtail's ability to simple. Here comes Screamtail now with a slash. Slash gets a crit. Blissey going once again. An Ice Shard. Oh, barely doing any damage. The Screamtail is just tanking every hit. Stored power, that doesn't do a lot. Blissey going again. This time with the Toxic Thread. Interesting move. The Toxic Thread does lower the speed, but it also poisons. Blissey, realizing it wasn't able to do much damage, is going to rely on the poison to try and chip away at Screamtail's health. And you got to remember, the Shadow Squad do have one Pokemon left after this. There goes the Electro Ball. That hits Blissey. Barely any damage there. Blissey going once again, this time with the Supercell Slam. That does nothing. Oh my goodness. This Screamtail just tanking everything. Here comes Screamtail again. There it goes for a Side Shock. Side Shock will land. That hits pretty decently. Blissey in the yellow. Here comes Blissey again, this time with a Psychic. Psychic hits. Not very effective. Screamtail still in the green, but the poison puts it below half its health. Here comes Screamtail. Now with the triple axle. Hits once, hits twice with a third one. Knock out the Blissey, and it looks like it does. The Shadow Squad will win. So they move on. They'll face off against the Growlithe Pack in round 2. And the Charming Charmeleons moves to the loser bracket to face the Sylveons. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more of the Metronome Madness League, and I will see you next time.